Hi, I'm Roberta. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we're making skillet cornbread, and it's called skillet cornbread because it's traditionally cooked in a cast iron skillet that looks like this. Now that's great if you have a big family. We're going to make a smaller batch today, so I'm going to use one of my little copper pans, but if you want to make a double batch, something like this is ideal, and you still only need one egg, whether you're doubling the recipe or not. Just one of those quirky things about doubling. Let me get this out of the way. So we need to start by combining our flour and our cornmeal. And I'm just using simple, fine polenta. 50-50 quantities flour and cornmeal. Traditionally, cornmeal would have been made without any white flour, but that does make it very dry. And most of the modern recipes I've seen use about a 50-50 mix. Some brown sugar, some baking powder, and some salt, and give that a good whisk together. Now, whisking dry ingredients, I don't know if it's something you've always done, but I've only recently discovered what a good idea it is. We always think about whisks for wet ingredients, but I want to make sure everything's really well combined there, especially that baking powder. I want that distributed throughout. So there we go, we give that a good whisk. And now, our wet ingredients, what are they? One egg, whether you're doubling the recipe or not. So I really don't like recipes that talk about using half an egg, so a whole egg goes in. I have some melted butter here. We're going to use some of it to grease the pan, but I'm going to put about half of it in there. And some of our gorgeous Pepe Saya buttermilk. Now, if you're getting our kit, you'll receive the Pepe Saya buttermilk. If you're buying your own ingredients and you're in Australia, look out for Pepe. If you're elsewhere in the world, look for a good natural buttermilk. So let's pour that in there and give it a whisk. We just need to combine those before we pour them into our dry ingredients. There we go. And it's that simple. Doesn't get much easier than that, does it? I'm just going to fold that through now with a spatula to make a batter. Now, one of the reasons this bread crisps up so beautifully is you heat the pan in the oven while you're heating the oven. And then you pour in the rest of the butter into the hot pan, gives a bit of a sizzle and a bubble, and then in goes our batter. So let me get the pan. So my oven's reached 180, my pan's been in there warming up while the oven was heating. So when you take it out, please put a cloth across the handle. And in with our butter. Oh yes, it's good and hot, and that's what we need. And give that a good stir around to coat the sides, keeping that on there. I think we've all done it, haven't we? And then in with our batter. You just want to spread that out as much as you can. It's going to mix in with the butter a little bit, that's fine. It's a bit like a self-saucing pudding. It's all going to come out just fine in the wash. We just want it as smooth as possible, and waste not, want not. Let's get that in there as well. Into the oven with this, we'll give it 20 or 30 minutes. See how it's looking. So here we have our beautiful skillet cornbread, hot out of the oven. Now, cornbread is delicious, but it doesn't keep well. So you want to dive in. Cut off a piece, slather on some butter, let it melt over the top just a little bit, and dig in. Yum. Enjoy.